We've got some new makeup to try. It's kind of a conglomeration of some drugstore, a couple high-ends mixed in there. First, we're going to go with a concealer. I'm going to try the Joah. Joah is a Korean brand. I think it's still sold at CVS. This is their Hydrating Eye Serum Concealer. It's got a sponge top. Obviously, you can see I haven't tried it. I have clicked it a few times to see if I can get it started. Oh, wow. Got it started right away. Ooh, the color might be actually decent for me. I have such a hard time choosing. Don't you have a hard time choosing the colors? Even in the store for drugstore, because you can't try it. So it's very frustrating. But this is actually a decent color. Wow, that blend to nothing. Let's hope it actually does something. I'm going to conceal after I do my foundation, only because if you conceal before, you might use too much concealer, and why do that? So I'm going to start with my foundation. The foundation is actually from Ulta Beauty's. It's the Complexion Crush medium coverage foundation. I got it in the color medium neutral, which usually works for me. I'm going to do a brush on one side and a sponge on the other, just so we can see the difference. Yeah, it might be a little dark for me, but all right, clearly we're doing the sponge on this side, which is, I should not have done that because this is my side that I struggle with, but it is what it is. All right, I'm going to do the brush on this side. I'm trying to use less foundation. I just think as we age, less is more. Because the more you have, the more it can settle in on all our wrinkles. Fine lines and wrinkles, and let's just face it, the fine lines are becoming much more wrinkles. So, not a good thing. All right, I'm going to actually dip this in and kind of work it throughout my brush. I was going to do that in the beginning, and oh, that was nice, Bobby. What is wrong with me today? Okay, let's try that again. I'm trying to work it into the brush, almost like you're like just maneuvering it in, and then it's just worked in throughout, and you don't have to keep applying it. I think you get better coverage this way using less foundation. From far away, I'm liking the look of it. I do not detect a fragrance to it, so that's a good thing. Of course, this is the second layer. I'm going under my, oh, I'm supposed to go to the left side. I'm going under my eye, but I'm not really putting more foundation there or anything. I'm just getting it, working it into there a little bit. Foundation's never good to go underneath your eyes too much because it's just too heavy and it just settles so much. There's the left side. So it says medium coverage. I would absolutely agree with that. I would say it's medium. This side, you can see my dark spot coming in there. But all in all, far away, it looks good. I am going to use my StansOut sponge just to kind of make sure nothing's gathered too much in one spot. I actually like both sides. I think that if you have more to cover, you will want to have the brush. You're not going to want to use the sponge. I don't know if I would call it very buildable. I don't know. I don't see any more coverage from the first layer to the second. Did you guys notice a difference? Because I did not. I would say as of right now, it's relatively glowy, but I do have kind of a more glowy SPF underneath this. So I'm not sure how that will work out, but let's just let it die down. I'm not going to put any powder on until it's set a little bit more. I'm going to do the Joah Concealer. I am light with neutral undertones. That's what color this is. If you are my, what do you call it? I've heard other YouTubers say this, my skin twin. Is that what it's called? Skin twin? If you have the same coloring as me? I don't know what it's called. All right, I'm not a huge fan of this way of doing concealer. I would rather put it on and be able to direct how much. I'm using my Albeaut concealer brush. If you do not know what this is, one of my latest videos I showed pretty much all affordable brushes. And this is my favorite concealer brush, and it is shockingly cheap. I'm not sure if I'm detecting much coverage. I mean, I think it lightened under my eyes. I don't know. I like the corrector better because like I just see a lot of blue in here. It's okay. We'll see how it reacts throughout the day. I didn't use like a lot of that foundation. I didn't use, like I put way too much on. Some of it was to show you guys, but just so you know, don't use so much. But this is obviously relatively inexpensive. All right, I'm gonna clean off my brows. If you don't do this before you do your eyebrows, then you should start. You can do what you want. I would recommend you doing this because if you're getting a foundation and even like sunscreen or your skincare on your brows, and it's really hard for your brow products to adhere to your skin if that's what you want, I do this and I let it dry. While that's drying, I actually am going to use a little bit more of foundation and see if I can get it to cover this spot a little bit more with the brush since I did the sponge on this side. So I put it on the brush itself, just pouncing, and then I just kind of buff on the edges. No, do you guys see less of it? I see just as much. So, okay, I would not call this buildable, and I am going to make sure it doesn't look too caked on. I kind of look at this sponge as my anti-caking sponge because when I just have too much, when you look up close, you get one of those 10 times zoom mirrors and you look up close and you go, wow, it just looks like so much makeup. That's what caked makeup looks like. This is the anti-caking makeup. Will this do the same thing? To a point. What this does is more adds some liquid to it because this is damp. I dampened it, I wet it down completely, and then I squeeze it between a towel to get most of it out. This can dilute your foundation more, and so you might lose some coverage if you use this to do that. But this is dry. What this does is it just goes through and just soaks up any extra. You're not removing any that you want, it's just removing the extra. Does that make sense? I'm going to use the Revlon, what is this? Brow Stylist Definer. This is from L'Oreal. Oh, I just said it was Revlon. Not Revlon, L'Oreal. Sorry, Revlon and L'Oreal. Okay, Brow Stylist Definer. I have it in the color Taupe. This says it's an ultra fine tip mechanical pencil. I would not call that ultra fine. I would call that like a normal, everyday brow pencil. So, I don't know where they're getting ultra fine. They all look like that. I always just throw these things away because I don't need it on there. Some people keep it for travel. I've literally never had one of these break off. Traveling, not traveling, I mean, I just don't ever. So to me, it's just not worth it to keep it on. I know some people do, and that's completely fine if you are one of those people. Okay, I always brush down my brows. We'll see if this color might be too light, but I don't know why I chose Taupe. Oh, it's actually a decent color for me. Okay. No, it's not coming off very easily. Like I'm pushing, I feel like if I push more, it will break it. Yeah, it's weird. It's not, I don't know if it's gonna come across to you guys, but I don't know if you can tell, like it's really light right here, and then it gets dark as we get to darker or more filled in brows. Like my brows are thicker as I go closer here, they're thicker, like most people. And it's not filling that area in very well, so I'm not thrilled with that. So, I mean, it's not abysmal by any stretch, but it's not wonderful. Okay, yeah, it just seems to, I keep putting on and on and on, and it doesn't get darker. And, I mean, it's not bad, and I've used a lot. Like, I feel like I have to wind it up again, so, which, you know, it's not extremely expensive because it's drugstore, but yet, you don't want to fly through it and just because you're trying to get more on. I don't think it's the color. I mean, the color is, I mean, maybe it could be darker, but that's pretty much my color. So, okay. Are they the same? Probably not. This one's always higher than this one. I struggle so much with that. Getting it to be the same across. I mean, they're not horrible. They're okay. But I can't seem to get it to be, especially right here, I can't get it to fill that in as much. Do you guys see how it gets really light up there? And some of that's just because my brows go down. I don't think it's one of those, I will never use this again kind of things, but I had to work too hard to get the color on, and the color really does suit my eyebrow color. I mean, I think that that looks pretty on par with what my hair color is. So I don't know. Not thrilled. Okay, off camera, I put on Perricone MD all over my lid. I covered it up with the Urban Decay All Nighter powder. I need a new one. My mascara is the Clean Taupe from CoverGirl. Before I powder, let me check and see. Yeah, we have a decent amount of creasing. It's definitely creasing in my lines, fine lines. I'm just going to take my finger and kind of dab out, and then take my sponge. My favorite puffs. I always like to go around my nose. And I don't go down too far because I'm going to be using a cream bronzer and a blush. So I don't want that to interfere. Okay, I'm excited about the bronzer and blush. I've never heard of this. My daughter had. She and I think we're at Ulta. Yes. Have you heard of DIBS? DIBS. Remember DIBS? Remember as a kid, we would say, I have dibs on that, like... I don't know if this is a Midwestern thing or if this was across the board in childhood in the 1980s or 70s and 80s, but you would see something like, I have dibs on this mascara, DIBS, and I call DIBS, it's mine. Do you remember that? Okay, is that just me? But this is called DIBS. This is, okay, Desert Island Duo. Kind of retro, maybe that's why they did this. Kind of retro packaging. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. I feel it coming. That was it, yay. I can sneeze up to 10 times in a row. Zero exaggeration, zero. Like, if you met my family, you would say to them, how many times does your mom sneeze? They would say it. My mom, my own mom sneezes the same way. Okay, not something we're extremely proud of, but it is what it is. Okay, so it's got bronzer on one side, blush on the other. Not obviously anything new, but how fun for packaging or traveling or all that. So obviously I'm gonna start with the bronzer. And again, I chose Desert Duo. Oh boy, I think that looks a little orange and a little dark. Does that look a little orange to you guys? That looks a little orange to me. It has an odd odor. Let's see, I think I'm going to take the brush. Well, see, I hate that. No, I'm gonna do it the way they had. If you've got this in a stick, I should be able to draw this in and then be able to buff it out. Like, I think if you don't have it in if you have it in a stick, it should be able to do that. That's the whole point of this kind of packaging. In other words, I shouldn't have to do this and go in. So I'm gonna do it the way they packaged it. This feels loose, like the whole thing. Do you guys see that? It feels kind of loose, like it's gonna come out. Okay, I'm nervous. Okay, it definitely has a more orangey tint. All right, I'm gonna choose a buffing brush. This is BK Beauty's 105, yeah. Sometimes it just takes another brush to brush it out. That's better, okay. I'm gonna do it the way I don't like to do it and see if that's better. You obviously can control where it goes better, I guess. Yeah, I like it better this way. Okay, so if you're going to buy this, do it that way. And that actually looks relatively nice. I like that better. Okay, I am gonna blend it out just a bit. I mean, how much do you get? Let's see how much. I'm afraid to do this, but okay, that's how much you get. I would say about ½ an inch. Not much. It won't last you as much as if it were like in a pot So keep that in mind. I would assume this is the same thing. This is the blush. Okay, I'm gonna use this brush because I love this brush. Again, if you haven't seen that video where I talk about more affordable brushes, this is on there and I like it for that. So I'm gonna put it on, turn it to the side. Gonna take my buffing one. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty. That's very pretty. I feel like I did more on the left. I always feel that way. Yeah, okay, I like this. I don't know if it's life-changing at all, but I like it. Like, I would keep using it. We'll see how long it lasts. I will powder it down though, because it's definitely a cream. So let's get some powder on there and set it. I like it better powdered, definitely, but I normally do. It's very subtle, which is good. I like subtle. Oh, I didn't do bronzer anyplace else. It just dawned on me. The foundation's not pilling, nothing's pilling, which is a good thing. Look at my hair. What is going on with my hair? My hair has been kind of crazy lately. It feels a bit sticky still, like the foundation is taking a bit of time to set down. Oh. Oh, my word. I was putting the brow pencil on my lip. I mean, can you see why? They look the same. Oh, Bobby, you're losing it. Okay. I'm going to use my Happy Hazelnut. Sorry. Oh, my word, that's just hysterical. I'm like, why is this not coming on? And why does it look so brown? Okay. Okay, you can't do lip liner and laugh at the same time. Stop, stop, stop. Oh, the other day, my husband and I, and my daughter and her boyfriend went to see my brother and his wife while we were in church. Rachel decided she was going to take notes. They gave you like a piece of paper to fill in. Okay, this is so not going to be funny to you. It's not going to be funny. I'm not even going to tell you the funny part because we told it to our family and they're like, why is that so funny? She did something on it and it just struck a funny bone to me. And you know how you're not supposed to laugh and you're in church and you're supposed to be serious. Thankfully, we were in like second to the last row and I look over at Rachel, what she did, and I am just like shaking laughing. And the more you tried to stop laughing, the worse it gets. I could not stop. She's like, stop. And then I would look at it again and it wasn't funny. It was, but it struck funny to me. Oh my word. Yeah, anyways. There. My little story for the day. And my absolute favorite over is Merit lip oil. I'm sorry, there's no lip oil that compares to this lip oil. If you haven't tried it, try it. It's so good. I think this is America. Yeah, America. So good. Okay, here is my thoughts. I like this. I do think that it gives like a light medium coverage. I don't think it gives a full medium. I would have more of this covered. So there's that. But it is pretty. It feels good on my face. It doesn't feel heavy. So if you don't have a lot to cover, or if you just want to strategically put some concealer in areas that you do want to cover, this may be a good foundation for you. The concealer, the Joah, it doesn't cake. It feels good. It feels light. Don't know if it really covered so much. Like, I don't think I feel like, okay, this is the best thing. I would much rather go with my Clinique corrector first. I think I have it here, yeah. I would rather use this first. Maybe if I combined them, maybe if I'm feeling a little bit more like I need more coverage, maybe these combined. I will try different ways and I'll update in a speed review, which I am so due to do. I do need to do a speed review. Okay, that was a good bomb. My brow pencil. I am not thrilled with this. It just took way too much having to go over and over and over and over for me to get the coverage and the color that I needed. it looks fine at the end result. Like, I'm not mad about the end result. So I'll probably use it up. I don't think I would buy it again because of that. And the DIBS, I do like it. I don't know if it's like the end all thing. I think if you can find two colors that you absolutely love, and in the end, I will say, I don't think I look orangey. Do you guys think I look orangey? You can be honest with me. Do I look orangey on where my cheeks are? I don't think it does. So it did blend out nicely, so I kind of like the idea of it. I do think you could probably get similar results in a drugstore kind of thing. If you have one that's like this where it's two-ended and you love it, comment below because we'd love to see what you use. I know they're out there. I'm sure I've reviewed them before. All of these products are linked below, and if you want to see another video kind of like this one, and you want to see a review of all different types of makeup, then I will put that here, and I will also put one of my vlogs. My vlogs combine kind of everything about what I cover. I cover decluttering and cleaning and makeup, just life over 50. So I'll put one of my vlogs here. I'll see you maybe in one of these or another one. God bless.